All right, y'all. This video is for everyone that likes really full, dense hair, okay? Today, we're not working with a machine-made lace front unit. We are making a wig from beginning to end, okay? Homemade, scratch. 3 bundles in a frontal, so make sure y'all stay tuned and see how I did it. Hey guys, what is going on? It's your girl Easy Breezy. So today I'm working with a brand new hair sponsor. Thank you so much, Ashimary. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different, right? So normally I would take a wig or hair from a sponsor and install it on a model for you guys. But this company, Ashimary, wants me to show you guys how to make your own homemade wigs right at home, okay? All right, so number one, this piece right here. This is a frontal with a cap attached to it. So when I got this, you know, I had to pluck it and bleach it, like customize it like normal. The frontal is attached to the cap. So all I have to do now is just flip this up and sew the bundles to the back of it. So that's super easy. I don't have to do no measuring. I don't have to do no extra stuff, okay? So now let's look at the bundles. Yes, ma'am. So they sent us 3 bone straight bundles, and these bundles look thick. Okay, so this is definitely gonna be a thick wig. And you know, I'm really excited because normally I get sent lace front wigs where I just like 1, 2, bam, the model's done. But now I get to actually like make a wig for the first time in I don't even know how long, probably like 3 years. So these are the bundles, as you can see. Then we have our frontal with the cap attached to it. And what I'm using is this big mannequin head. Now, a lot of times when we make wigs, we mistakenly make them too small. So make sure you get, I don't know exactly what inch this is, but I'm gonna make sure that I put it in the comments or the description below so you know exactly what head size mannequin that I buy. And every time I make wigs on this one, my wigs never come out too small. Okay, so I know if that's a problem that y'all be facing, then you have to get a bigger mannequin head, okay? All right, so I showed you guys the hair, the cap, the mannequin, and let's go ahead and take a look at the type of needles that I'm using and the rest of the supplies that you'll need at home. All right, you guys, so to make this wig, first we're gonna need some wig pins so we can make sure the wig is not like moving around on the mannequin. Then I have my curved needle and my black thread, of course, so we can sew the bundles on the back. And I have a black eyeliner pencil, okay? The reason why I have that pencil is so I can mark where we need to place these bundles. So right now I have my mannequin head, which is a little bit beat up, a little ghetto, because I got some color on it and bleach, but it's still functional, so it's all good. Now let's take our wig pins and put 2 in the back and 2 in the front, so as we're sewing in the bundles, the cap doesn't scrunch up because that can also make the wig come out really small when we're done. All right, so that wig is not going nowhere, okay? It's not gonna scrunch up or nothing. So now let's take our black eyeliner pencil and place these markers, okay? So the reason why I do this and why it is necessary, because as you sew in the bundles, you wanna make sure that you are using your space management correctly, because a lot of times when I used to make wigs, I used to sew in the first bundle from the bottom, then sew in the second bundle, and once I got to the top, it was like I had all this extra space on the cap and the bundles at the top, like the rows would be spaced out. So to avoid that, we have to kind of like pre-plan where we're going to place these tracks. All right, so as you guys can see, as I draw these lines, we can tell that the inside of the wig has wider spaces in between the tracks than the outsides, like on those corners. So these lines are gonna help us keep this layout consistent so we don't end up with a bunch of cap at the end. All right, so our lines are done. The layout is complete, and now we can start sewing on these bundles. I'm excited, y'all. All right, so let's start with the first bundle. Now, when I make my wigs, I'll always double the first 2 bundles just to save some time and some energy. And the last one, I single track it. Unless my customer makes a special request that she wants me to single track the whole thing, then I'll do it and I'll charge a little extra. But in all the other cases, then I will double the first 2 or 3 bundles and then single track the last one. All right, I'm zooming in so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. I mean, I can't really explain it to the T, but I will say that I do a lot of knots, especially when I do wigs and even in my sewings, because, you know, when you're combing your hair and tucking at it and doing all this stuff to it, then the tracks can possibly come out really easy. So make sure you're doing a knot at the end and then another knot right after that. And I really do 2 knots at the end of each track. And what I mean by 2 knots is I'll do 2 separate knots, maybe an inch away from each other, each one tied 3 times. And because I really wanted to make a video that was super detailed for you guys, I didn't cut no footage out, at all. Y'all are gonna see me make this wig from beginning to end. So if you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing, you can fast forward. But if you're literally watching this process for the first time, then I guess, you know what I'm saying, take some notes. All right, so if y'all look closely, when you see me bend the track and, you know, I'm starting to sew the opposite way, I don't take both wefts and fold them at the same time. I only fold one so the corner is as flat as I can get it. And that track under it does get folded too, but it's an inch away from the hairline. So it's more in the hair, so you can't really tell, and it reduces the bulk. Okay, now y'all can see what I'm doing a little bit closer and clearer. So when I'm folding the track at the corner, right, I'm only doing one of them first. So as y'all can see, one of them is being folded at the corner and the other one is being folded an inch away from the corner. So yes, this makes it a lot more flatter where you don't have to cut the tracks and, you know, have the track shedding and all that extra stuff that is really avoidable. All right, so y'all can see me finishing up this first bundle and I'm still going by my guidelines. All right, so we are done with the first bundle. It's laying perfectly. And as you can see, the guidelines really helped us cover enough area. All right, y'all, so we are at the second bundle and I'm gonna be sewing this in the exact same way I did the first one. I'm gonna be double tracking it until the very end. Actually, you know what? While I sew this bundle in, I can think of a really funny shop talk to tell you guys. And it has to do something with wigs, ironically. All right, so a long time ago, way back when I still had my shop, I was with my 2 assistants and we were just sitting around, you know, waiting for clients to come in because we took walk-ins. So this lady came in, you know, we never seen her before, but, you know, that was nothing new because we had new clients all the time. So she came in with a wig that I guess she already had. It wasn't like a Galaxy Girl wig or nothing. It was just her own wig. And she was like, you know, all I need is the wig to be washed and curled. And we were like, okay, cool, easy. So my assistant, you know, got the wig from her. She washed it. And I left the room because I'm just like, you know, that's something that my assistants can handle without me. So I'm just going to chill until they're done. All right, so long story short, right? Maybe like an hour after I left the room. And I always be around the building. Like I'll either be in my car or the lobby or something like that, just chilling. And one of my stylists came to me and she was like, you need to talk to this lady because she tripping. And I'm like, what is going on now? So I walked back to the room and, I was talking to the client and I'm like, is there a problem? All right, so as I'm talking to the client, right, like she's making it seem like the problem is like not a big deal. She's like, well, I just wanted my wig washed and curled, but she's trying to charge me extra. And I'm like, extra for what? Like I'm thinking like, okay, the wash is 10, the curl is 40, so it's 50. So I'm like, what could be extra? So I look at my assistant and I'm like, what's the problem? And she goes, Breezy, this girl wants me to install the wig on her and then curl it. And I'm like, okay. So I look at the client and I'm like, if she puts the wig on your head, that's an install, which is $150. So that's like a really, different price. And the client is like, well, I mean, I don't need it installed. I just needed her to glue it on my head. And I'm like, yep, that's definitely an install. And y'all, this client was literally arguing us down, like going back and forth about what an install is and what it ain't. Like, girl, you're not finna get away with this. So long story short, she ended up paying for the install and it was just like, another crazy ass day at this shop. Like, girl, you cannot finesse this one, okay? Just give up. All right, so the second bundle is sewed in and complete, and we officially covered 2/3 of the cap. Now, this is the last that we have, and I'm going to single track this last bundle. All right, now, for all my stylists and all my girls that make wigs, I don't want to see nobody doubling the tracks on top of somebody's head, okay? Period. That is lazy. So make sure you single track the entire last bundle on the top because you will cause extra volume and a humpiness that really can be easily avoided if you just single track the last bundle. Also, when we single track this last bundle, it's going to automatically make the tracks lay closer together. It's going to be less of a space in between. So even when you look at someone from on top of their head, you really should not see the tracks. And this bundle is going to take a little minute. So if you want to fast forward, once again, I won't be mad if you do that. But honestly, I would see how I lay these tracks down because this is kind of important. All right, y'all. So we are down to the last 2 rows, okay? Y'all can see how close these rows are to each other because I'm not trying to see no cap and no tracks, okay? Oh yeah, and I did forget to mention that the last maybe 2 to 3 rows at the very tippity top right next to the frontal, I do cut those tracks. Now, I don't cut all the tracks because that's just unnecessary and you can never use that hair ever again. But yes, the top tracks have to be cut because we have to make that shit flat, okay? Now, this last bundle, I'm literally sewing it onto the frontal, not beside the frontal, because once again, like we're at the very top, I'm not trying to have no spaces in between the hair of the frontal and that track, because you will see it. Okay, so we are done sewing in that third bundle. Well, I'm not completely done because I am going to add those little pieces within the wig, but I want to show you guys the top and I want to show you how far the tracks are from each other and really just how it looks, right? So as you can see, the bottom, the tracks are wider, but at the very top, I mean, it's barely any space between them because we do not want to see no tracks and no cap, okay? And it's very easy to, especially with this, you know, light cap with this jet black hair. All right, now, because I ain't lazy, okay? Never been lazy, never will be lazy. And I ain't no thief. I'm not running off of nobody's hair, okay? So I'm taking the last few bit of the bundle that we have and I'm putting it in between the wig because that's what you do when you are a stylist with integrity, okay? So if somebody paid you to make a wig out of 3 bundles, girl, make sure all 3 bundles is in that wig, okay? Don't be trifling. All right. All right, we are finally done. All 3 bundles are sewed in. It looks perfect. It is flat. Now let's take a look at our work. All right, this is my favorite part. Okay, I want to show you guys this hairline and the potential of this wig. Like, oh, first of all, it is so thick. It's way thicker than a like machine wefted lace front unit because bundles are just fuller. I mean, just naturally, you know. As you can see, the hair is beautiful. Thank you so much, Ashimary, for these lovely bundles. I mean, whoever buys this wig is going to be a happy girl. And you can tell like this wig is going to make for some really nice bedhead hair because it's not even styled and it's already looking amazing, right? So before I started this video, y'all already know I plucked and bleached the hairline before I started. I mean, I have so many customization videos on YouTube. I really don't even bother to add them in my videos no more. But I will in the future, you know what I'm saying? I'll try it again. But yes, I always bleach the knots and I pluck the hairline so it looks extremely natural. Now, when you get it in the mail, the hairlines always come like slightly pre-customized, but you know I have to add my little easy breezy touch to it. I can't just leave it. All right, you guys, so thank you so much for watching me make this wig from beginning to end. All right, now if you want more videos like this, then give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see how I install this wig, I'm going to put the link of the video in the comments below, so you can check that out after you finish watching this video. All right, so if you are not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that. Turn on your notifications, and I'll see y'all at the install video.
Oh my gosh. Yes, y'all, this is the same wig. All right, this is how it looked when I did the install. So if you guys want to see how I installed this wig with the baby hairs, oh yes, matter of fact, this was birthday hair. Okay, so this was special. This was like a special event. So if y'all want to see how I did the install, make sure you tune into the install video next, and I will put the link in the comments below. So I'll see y'all later.